still doing this, dude? Yeah, so let's talk about this. So in case you guys don't know who Turned Down for Walt is, he is primarily a Melee content creator, but I saw that he posted a video talking about Ultimate. The title says the worst Fighter Pass 2 character. The thumbnail is like a thumbnail of Sora. And I'll tell you right now, I have not seen this video, but I already heavily disagree with it. If he thinks that Sora is the worst Fighter Pass 2 character, I absolutely think that is untrue. I need to see what he is saying about Sora. But this is going to be my first time watching the video, so let's get into it.
This probably isn't that insane of news to you, but did they forget something with Sora? Fighters Pass 2 users won 71 tournaments as tracked by Ult Rank between 2021 and 2022. As for Sora, he won 1. That was by Zachary, and he's a pit main now. Since then, Sora's biggest moment at a premier level tournament was a meme, the confetti incident at SmashCon, where Meister did the unthinkable and won a single game with Sora in grand finals.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah, at Super SmashCon, the production team messed up, and they just assumed that Onin won, so they dropped the confetti, even though it was Meister who took the game with Sora. I think at the time, that was the very first time a Sora has taken a game at a major event's top 8. Again, I don't think Sora is the worst Fighter Pass 2 character. I think that Sora has the worst results, like just based off what he's saying, yes. I think that's because his meta is just underdeveloped. That or there's not a really good player that's consistently manning him. Like now we have Kameme, so there's a possibility that Sora may win bigger events because of Kameme. But yeah, results-wise, still overall Sora is the worst Fighter Pass 2 character if you look strictly at results. But the character himself is absolutely insane. It's kind of like a lot of people thought that Yoshi would never win a major, though Yoshi was bad, and then Amsa comes out of nowhere and starts doing really well with Yoshi. Obviously that's in Melee and that took a ton of years, but I think it's a similar thing, although I don't think it will take that long for people to see Sora's potential. And then here's another example that's kind of Smash related. It's Brawl. So in Brawl, during the beginning, people thought that ice climbers were like high tier. Like there was no one who could consistently do the 0 to death combos. You know, obviously as execution gets better, there are a lot of characters who are high execution that also become significantly better for that reason. And I think Sora is a high execution character.
At Battle of BC5 though, that all changed. Today, we'll take you through the unthinkable losers run by Fighters Pass 2's forgotten member and the player we all should have known.
I got baited, bro. He baited us. I got clickbaited so hard.
When it was all said and done, his takedown list included Onin, MKLeo, Gluttony, Yoshidora, and Mia.
Kameme's losers run might be the best losers run of Ultimate history, even though he did not win. The people he had to beat was crazy.
Even Sephiroth, the character closest to Sora in terms of results and tier placement, has proven to be one of the most valuable secondaries to possess in the current meta.
I disagree. He's definitely not that good of a secondary. The people who are using Sephiroth, they're just really good with the character, but like matchup wise, he doesn't really cover that much. Like for Ken mains Sonic, who is a character that you can argue is the best in the game. I feel like he's using Sephiroth because in some instances, he just wants to. Like Sonic is very, very easy to solo main. Like you can basically use anyone as a secondary if you main Sonic because he is just that good. And then I know he's also going to bring up Tweak. It's kind of the same thing. I feel like he's kind of throwing it out for, let's say, matchup inexperience, or he just hates this matchup as Diddy, but it's not like a strong counterpick character.
Look, you don't have to take it from us. Sora Stats has been completely fucking on it from the start. Yeah. A few top North American players tried the character for a bit, like DeBuzz and Meister. They pretty swiftly realized getting good with this character was going to be at least as much work as the characters they had already played, if not more, and that pretty much goes against the entire point of switching to a DLC character.
Alright, I feel like although both DeBuzz and Meister are phenomenal players, I don't think Sora was a good fit for them. DeBuzz, for example, I feel like DeBuzz plays more zoning heavy characters, more keep away characters, and I don't really feel like Sora is that type of character, like where you just constantly keep them at a distance. I don't think that's how you play the character like optimally, so I don't think it was a fit for DeBuzz. And then for Meister, I feel like the way he plays isn't very execution heavy, and I feel like Sora is also a very execution heavy character. I feel like in Meister's case, it's just me like assuming things because he plays Game & Watch. I don't actually know if he likes high execution characters. characters, and I also don't even know how much time he put into the character, so there's also that. But I just feel like both players that played Sora just were not a good fit for the character.
Kimura Kiri, a legendary Smash 4 Cloud, also returned for a few solid runs with Sora.
Oh, Como, I didn't know that.
Kameme was a solid Brawl player, a Wario and Zero Suit Samus player who was able to consistently push those characters into Japanese top 8s. But the world really got to know him at EVO 2016 for Smash 4, where he was taking a character most had written off deeper into the bracket than anybody imagined either could go.
Oh yeah, so Kameme, his tag was Kamemushi initially, in case you're wondering, like, oh, I searched Kameme in Smash 4, I didn't see him until like way later in the game's life. It's because his tag was Kamemushi.
Once opponents got to 60%, it would only take one rep of the Metal Blade footstool combo to guarantee a stock.
That's so crazy. That was so good.
But Mega Man has fallen off in the post-lockdown meta. He'll pop off occasionally, as Peanut did at Riptide, taking second last year, but he's been power crept by Fighters Pass 2.
I mean, to be fair, Mega Man didn't really have that great of results aside from Kameme. So it's one of those things where it's not necessarily the character, but the player. Even still, there are some Mega Man players that are doing really well, like Peanut, MPG, who's been popping off, as well as Repo from Japan. Also, Tweak's playing Mega Man, although he's not really going to main Mega Man. He just wants a Mega Man for some reason.
After a year of Sora, Kameme checked in at 22nd in this year's ult rank. So why has Sora helped Kameme return to top form where most of the game's top players have left him to collect dust? Let's actually start with a more specific question. What made Metal Blade so effective for Kameme? It was an effective, safe combo starter that could be used out of shield and hit in every direction. It put on pressure even when the first hit missed, and when it hit, you usually died.
I know what he's gonna say. Guys, chat, do you know what he's gonna say? That's right. He's gonna say neutral air. It's kind of the same thing I mentioned where it's like, he hasn't really mentioned the high execution part, but I feel like Mega Man is a fairly high execution character. He has a good amount of things you need to utilize with the character effectively in tech. And he also has what Walt's gonna say, a move that's a really good combo starter that covers all around him. Yeah, let's continue.
Check. Check, and as we'll demonstrate, check. Fighters Pass 2 may have added more powerful characters, but none scratch that particular itch that Kameme always seems to be trying to scratch when he plays, quite like Sora. After struggling to find a character that would reward his discipline, execution, and decision-making in the way that had been working for him for so long, here it finally was. The last character added into the game. How do you take down 5 top players of 5 incredibly different characters all in a row? Well, first off, you play a game of Mii Brawler, get the cheesiest down throw kill of your life, and have your opponent SD while you're over 150% on your last stock.
He didn't show the taunt. When Mia SD, he taunted. Also, shoutouts to Kameme going Mii Brawler. I'd like to think that I inspired him to go Mii Brawler at this event because I played him in tournament. It didn't go well. Look at the Mii Brawler he's using. I like to think that after he beat me, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna get the W for Larry.
Of the 42 stocks Kameme took with Sora in this winning streak, 26 of them, or 62%, started with a neutral air. At later percents, he connects stray nair 1s or 2s into up airs and up B.
I want to bring up something regarding the neutral air. If you watch any of Kameme's sets, he will spam that move. He does not care. And he's able to do it because of how much variety it has mix-up wise and just like how strong it is to set up. It's just a really good move.
Yeah, there were jokes about Leo dropping his
him.
controller during this combo.
He bailed him. I feel like the thing about that situation too is that people give MK Leo shit about getting hit by that, but this is gonna sound weird, but it goes to show how good he is because most people who are bad aren't going to get hit by that because they're just constantly going to be mashing something and their brain in Smash isn't intelligent enough to be conditioned. But if you're finding someone who's good, who actually adapts to things, then you're going to be able to condition them to hit this combo. And that's exactly what Kameme did.
Kameme's run would be ended in 4th place by Shootone, the man who remains his bracket demon. Shootone is 8-1 against Kameme now at open brackets of at least 200 players, and the Sora hasn't been able to match Shootone's Fighter Pass 2 choice, his Aegis.
That's rough.
But in the end, Kameme still put
Shootone's also just like so consistent.
It makes perfect sense that it would be Kameme to do it. It was only a matter of time before he found the tool that clicked with him. With Sora, he's getting rewarded for his discipline and execution just like he did with his Mega Man back in the good old days, and that's a terrifying prospect for anybody who might get matched up with him in a future bracket.
Alright, if you did like that video, or at least the bits and pieces I showed, you should actually watch the whole thing. I'm gonna have it linked in the description. You should also subscribe to Walt because, again, he makes phenomenal videos. He makes really good Melee videos, and then he is starting to do more old stuff. And yeah, drop a comment on his video, tell him I sent you. Also, like and subscribe. Subscribe to my channel and also leave a comment on your opinion of Sora and who you think the worst Fighter Pass 2 character is.